in his domineering alpha tone, making all of them glance up. He stood in the center of the hard ground with me beside him. After many years, I have finally found my mate. Anna will soon be crowned as the Luna of the pack, and I would expect all of you to give her the respect she deserves. I see, Claude finally said defeatedly. The disbelief was so blatantly visible in his eyes. We will soon have a marking ceremony, and then I can let you go on condition that you will stay away from us. You have done a lot for me. Just let us end on a positive note, I pleaded with him, and he watched me with teary eyes. Asher and the old guardian descended the stairs. He brought the lock. I stepped away as he locked Claude up and gave the keys to the older guardian for safekeeping. Don't worry, I will keep him here as long as you want. Go save the werewolf kind. Altar Guardian gave us blessings once again as we finally left the place, with me throwing one last look at Claude. He sat with his head in his hands. I was exhausted, so Asher carried me all the way back to the hotel. I fell asleep in his arms. Next day, we were to head back, and this time, our destination was Whispering Bay Island, the home of Night Rider's pack, Asher's pack, the place I had given birth to Oliver and hadn't returned to since then. It had memories so bitter for me, but I wished to rewrite them, replace them with new ones that involved my mate and 2 kids. Oliver was alive, and that's all that mattered to me. We were traveling by Asher's private boat under tight security, but I was still vigilant. My kids were with me, and I didn't want to take any chances. Ellie was excited to see a castle. She had only seen them in books and TV, while Oliver was excited to show her his home and island. Are you nervous? Asher asked, rubbing the tips of his fingers in my hair as I sat with my head on his shoulder. Slightly, but mostly I am anxious. That place doesn't hold fond memories. I thought I had lost my son there, I told him in all honesty. I understand, love. Now you will only have fond and cherishable memories, I promise. Besides, I will be making love to you in every corner of the castle, so it will be etched on your heart, he teased, making me stifle a laugh. You are such a tease. I playfully shoved his shoulder. We are about to anchor near the dock, the captain announced, and we gathered the kids ready to disembark as we stood on deck. Something isn't right, Asher instantly said, his eyes narrowing as he scanned the place and took a deep sniff. Asher's men were standing on the dock, but there was someone else too. They're here. Guard the kids, Asher. I picked up a movement from my left flank. Since both of us had enhanced senses, we could pick up what ordinary wolves couldn't. Asher guarded the kids with his body as he ducked while I took out my kunai knives and jumped over Asher and the kids, throwing both my knives sideways. They soared through the air and hit 2 assassins hiding behind the shipping containers, which must have been disembarked earlier. Arr! I heard the sounds as 2 bodies fell, and I triumphantly landed on my feet. Asher's men instantly became vigilant and began to run in all directions, trying to look for the enemy. Nice move, Mom. Ellie beamed at me. Slick throw, Mom. Oliver sent me a thumbs up, making me heartily smile at my kids, who were still being guarded by Asher as he barked. Secure the area. What have you people been doing? Letting assassins crawl over my island? I could see how wide his nostrils had grown, like a raging bull, seeing that we were attacked before we could even set foot on the island. My eyes met an old friend. The only person who was nice to me when I was here. Eden, Asher's beta. He was frantically passing orders to secure the area so we could land. Soon, all the assassins had been brought down or captured, and we successfully disembarked. Judging by their uniforms, I could tell they were from the Shadow Organization. Seeing their faces, I even recognized a few, and it hurt my soul to see how Kyle was using them for his personal gains. Lock them up in the dungeon. I will deal with them later. Asher's voice thundered out as he carried both of our kids in his strong arms. I waltzed right beside him, my chest swelled in pride. His guards instantly obeyed. Fear of their alpha crawled in their eyes as they hauled the prisoners away. Eden finally made his way towards us, carrying an apologetic smile. He was exactly the same as I had remembered him. Rubbing the back of his head, he said, "Alpha and family, welcome to Whispering Bay Island." Oliver slid down from his father's arms and landed on the ground, only to rush into Eden's arms. "Uncle Eden," he happily said as Eden collected him in his and carried him. "Welcome back, Prince Oliver." He pinched Oliver's nose, making him laugh. "Look, I brought back my mom." He happily pointed towards me, and Eden's gleaming eyes flickered to me. A warm smile spread on his lips as he recognized me. Anna, or must I say Sarah, he mischievously grinned, making me smile. While you guys hid my child from me, I only hid my identity. I shrugged my shoulders, making him burst out laughing. Fair enough. It's good to see you, Anna. Welcome back. Let's head back to the castle. I acknowledged him with a nod and moved forward. Tighten the security all around the island. I don't want any slackness. No more attacks. Asher instructed his beta as they both fell into steps and began to discuss the security while Ellie was let down by Asher. He rushed back and joined me, and I held her hand. This place is beautiful, she gushed. It really is, I answered, gently squeezing my daughter's hand. It was cold there. A shiver ran down my spine as the chilly wind swept past us. I hid my free hand in my pocket and was glad that I had chosen warm clothes for the kids. Mom, does Dad really live in a castle? Ellie expectantly asked. She still couldn't believe it. Yes, Ellie, look. I pointed in the distance where the spiked towers of the castle could be seen. She watched with starry eyes as the looming structure came into view. Her hands were on both sides of her cheeks. Wow, this is such an elegant castle in place, Mom, she exclaimed in excitement, and I couldn't agree more. I had loved the unique flora and fauna of this place. The last time I was here, Oliver had climbed down from Eden's lap and rushed back to join us. Do you like it, Ellie? He questioned with a knowing grin. Yes, it looks right out of a fairy tale, she answered gleefully. The guards bowed to us as we entered the place. Ellie began to fidget, seeing its grandeur and everyone staring at the new addition. Although they were staring at me as well, they were trying to be subtle about it. Oliver was quick to grab Ellie's hand and said, "Come, I will give you the grand tour of our home." Ellie happily nodded, and both of them rushed away, followed by 2 guards. Stopped for a second, taking in the ambiance of this place. It didn't seem as gloomy as it had done the last time. The memory surfaced from 5.5 years ago, and I was lost for a while. Anna, join us in my study. We need to discuss the further plan. Asher's voice brought me back to my reality. I glanced in his direction, and he was expectantly staring at me, and so was Eden. I slowly walked forward and joined him, and he placed his hand on the small of my back. "Are you all right?" he questioned, a bit concerned. "Yes, just slightly overwhelmed is all," I answered, snaking in a deep breath. "I understand. Take your time. We will settle in soon. Let's first deal with this demon business." "Yes, it's your home now, and soon you will be our Luna," Eden added with his signature pleasant smile. We entered Asher's study and settled down. It was a cozy place with rich shades of mahogany blended with pearly white. A small fire slowly crackled in the fireplace with its amber hues. Asher offered me a seat in what seemed like his executive chair and chose to stand behind me. Eden sat opposite us and steepled his hands together before speaking. "Congratulations on finding each other. I always knew you had something special about yourself. Not just anyone could carry Asher's baby. I thank you for the kindness you showed me, Eden." I appreciated him, and he heartily took a bow, making me laugh. "What report has Amal sent?" Zaire asked. So the latest report he had gathered showed that Kyle had gotten hold of the rest of the moonstones, enough to weaken the seal for the demon to escape the abyss in its weakened state. It's at its half power, but still would be quite a force to reckon with, Eden explained. Asher had sent a spy to Crescent Island, one that had placed the moonstone on his orders, and we should move as quickly as possible. Before Kyle makes his move, we should be the one attacking him, I suggested. "I agree. Gather all the warriors, and we will select the ones who will accompany us." "There is no time to waste," Asher informed Eden. "Let's head out to the training area then. Both of you can hand-select the warriors," Eden suggested. I left the comfortable leather one-seater and took Asher's arm. We made our way outside into the training area, which was located at the back of the castle. Eden had mind-linked the warriors, and they were all standing there with legs spread and hands behind their backs, their eyes lowered as their Alpha and Luna to be approached. "Eyes up," Asher ordered in his domineering alpha tone, making all of them glance up. He stood in the center of the hard ground with me beside him. "After many years, I have finally found my mate. Anna will soon be crowned as the Luna of the pack, and I would expect all of you to give her the respect she deserves. Is that understood?" Asher asked. in his high-pitched voice. Yes, Alpha, they chorused. We will be handpicking some warriors to accompany us to the Crescent Island. Kyle and that demon need to be defeated for our world to find peace again. 2 teams will be formed, one under me and the other under Anna. Asher explained, taking strides in front of them while I stood behind and watched their reactions. Quite a few reacted the way I had anticipated. Luna will lead the other team. We don't want her to get hurt. She will be safer in the castle here. Some of them voiced their concern, making me grin at their naivety. Asher was about to speak when I raised my hand to silence him and stepped forward. I am not some frail girl. I am Alpha Anna Carroll of the Night Shadow Warriors pack. If even a single one of you can defeat me, I will not accompany you guys on the mission. Who wants to go first? I cracked my knuckles and neck, exchanged confused glances. Asher sidestepped with a knowing smirk while Eden had a fucking grin going. One of the hulking bald warriors finally stepped forward and I ushered him towards me with the flick of my fingers, taking position. Like a bull, he launched himself at me and I instantly bent down. Bringing forward my fist, I punched him hard into his belly. It connected with the full force and I sent him sprawling. Arr! He screamed, clutching his stomach while his face grimaced in pain. I straightened up and dusted away invisible specks of dirt, just to prove my point. Turning to the line of warriors twice my size and build, I brazenly asked, "Anyone else?" Simple shake of their heads and bobbing of their Adam's apple was all I got in return. Asher let out a hearty chuckle. "That's my mate," he proudly said and meandered over to my side, wrapping his arm around me. I melted into his touch. I proved my worth to all of you. It's time all of you do it, and then I will handpick my team. Each one of you will duel with me. The longer you keep standing on your feet, the more chance you have of finding yourself on my team. Let's do this. Asher let me form my rules to choose among his warriors. No one lasted more than 2 minutes. I selected the ones who did while trying to think out of the box as they tackled me instead of blindly charging towards me like mindless hulks. They say to fight smart, not hard. They say it right. It's all about using your mind and muscles in sync. We picked up our teams and training began, not only physically but mentally and emotionally as well. The demon could manipulate. It was important to have individuals who were mentally capable of handling the tough situation. I also showed them my Luna Stone. They were my warriors now, and it was important to build trust with them, which meant showing them what I had and what had been revealed to me. They were intrigued seeing the milky white stone, but then something strange happened. Streaks of blinding white light emerged from the stone like fine silk threads. They wound around me and my warriors, sharing its mystical powers with them and tethering us to itself. I could sense it vibrating and power surging through it in the form of threads as it transferred to the stunned warriors. I feel so much stronger. I feel more powerful than before, they began to exclaim, as the power share between us was complete and the stone went silent. With training, we also discussed the plans we had made so far. Since I knew the island like the back of my hand, I was put in charge of leading the operation. I helped a cartographer draw a complete map of Crescent Island, pinpointing exactly where everything was. We asked all the warriors to memorize it. Night fell and we gave warriors a break. Eden had been spending time with kids so they weren't lonely. He was a natural with them. No wonder Oliver loved him. Tired. I was thinking of heading to bed when Asher invited me. Let's head to my study and practice with our new powers that have us linked to the moonstones. I want to try something new. I could never say no to him, so I agreed and we headed to his study. Asher bolted the door while I settled down snugly in his comfy one-seater. My ass thanked me and I almost moaned from the pleasure this softness provided. I melted into it, almost collapsing. You good? Asher decreased the distance between us and I nodded. So the Luna Stone shared its powers with the warriors today. I wonder if you can fit it into this and always keep it around your neck. Asher pulled out a thick silver chain with central magnetic hooks where the stone could be placed so it would turn into a necklace. Oh, I love this idea. I scooped out the stone from my pocket and placed it in the hooks. Asher locked them in place and I was left with a stunning necklace. Picking it up, Asher placed it around my neck. Here, it will forever be yours now, he declared with a warm smile, the one which always liquefied my insides and had my core into knots. Thanks, but I do wonder where you keep your moonstones. Can I search for them? I teasingly asked, holding onto the front of his dress shirt and undoing a button. His smile melted into a challenging grin as his velvety whisper entered my ears. Why don't you try? Boldness overtook me, and I threw open another of his buttons, and then another. Tracing my finger on his warm flesh below, I poked his chest and teasingly asked, "Here, maybe?" He elegantly shrugged his large shoulders, making me wander further down. Unbuttoning his shirt, I slid it off his body, revealing the cords and cords of a muscled torso to my greedy eyes. His hands clamped both sides of the sofa as he shadowed over me. His scent seeped into my nostrils as my hands slipped down to unbuckle his belt. With a clicking movement, I removed his belt and he snatched it away from my hands. His eyes flashed with this intense hunger as he grabbed both my hands and tied the belt around them and pinned them above my head. Picking up my legs, he dragged off my jeans and spread them wide on the side arms of the sofa. Placing his knees between my spread legs, Asher also climbed up, kneeling between them. My heart raced like a rabbit being chased by a wolf while my needy eyes wouldn't waver from the toned body of my mate. "Anna, will you be a good girl?" he asked in a dark whisper, and I found myself nodding with a gulp. Unbuttoning his pants, Asher pulled them down, letting his heated, rigid form be set free. Its sudden rise nearly brushed my face, and my mouth went dry with eager anticipation, craving to draw him close and take me deep. Let every drop of my desire spill into that sweet mouth of yours. The raw dominance in his voice sent a throbbing ache through my core, and I opened my mouth wide. He pressed forward, his rigid length filling my throat as he moved in steady, urgent strokes. My eyes stung from the intensity of his hold, his fingers fisting my hair to keep me in place, and I knew the night would unfold in a tangled, heated dance of longing on this sofa, stretching far into the dark.